Welcome to Who's Next with Derrion Henderson. I'm your host, Derrion Henderson. Thank you so much for joining us here for the new podcast that we have here at WNBF News. I also want to thank you because you all showed so much love. So much love for us during the month of February when we launched Bridging the Gap. So many views, and we really appreciate you. And we wanted to kind of bring it back, but spice it up just a little bit. So we have this new podcast where we're going to be talking about the movers and shakers in our community, right? With the shift that's happening in our country with millennials taking on more leadership roles, opening up new businesses, and really taking on what's happening in our community by their hands and really just heading forward. We want to show you and maybe introduce you to or maybe help you understand more about the movers and shakers around here or the people on the silent come up. So I want to first introduce you and begin this series with a culinary artist right here in the city of Myrtle Beach. He is a Grand Strand native. He goes by the name of Jerrett King. He's an award-winning chef, but we're gonna call him Chef JK. Let's give him a hand here in the building. Let's give him a hand. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, Chef JK, thank you so much for joining us, man.
All right, thank you.
We're gonna have a great conversation, but first, of course, we gotta talk about what's in front of us, right? It's some good food. You just opened up your new spot, Oak Prime, right here in Myrtle Beach in the Carolina Forest area. We're gonna get to all that in a minute, but what do I have right here, man? I see a little steak. I see a little octopus. What's going on?
All right, so right here we have a 48-ounce prime ribeye. Tomahawk.
Tomahawk. I mean, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it big.
You gotta do it big. You have to do it big. So it's currently not on the menu, but we run it as a feature every now and then. So
so exclusive only.
Exclusive only. And you was one of the first people to have it. You are exclusive. That's why I made it just for you. I brought it in just for you.
I appreciate it.
So we pair that a lot of times. We do everything a la carte for the most part.
Okay.
So we have that with a little bit of grilled asparagus and Daffin potato.
Okay. I thought it was a little mac and cheese, but
it do look like mac and cheese a little bit.
Look,
Got
a little cheese in it?
A little cheese. A little old Amsterdam Gouda cheese.
Gouda cheese.
Oh yeah, definitely. Me too.
I love some asparagus.
Me too. Oh yeah.
Like when I got like a nice little crunch on it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Can't wait to eat this. What's this right here?
So we have grilled octopus.
You went straight to the Atlanta.
There you go. A lot of people is not doing octopus in this area, man. So that's why I try to do it. We have it paired with a little bit of romesco sauce and rainbow potatoes and tomato confit.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm definitely gonna get to some of this a little bit later. Oh, listen, I got my fork, I got my plate and my steak knife, but
I got mine too.
Before we get too much into it, I just want to tell the people about you. You have an amazing story. I knew, of you. I knew of places that you've done around here. You're in the kitchen of a lot of places, but I'm like, I want to learn more. And once we talked about it, I'm like, man, the people are going to love this guy. Thank you so much for joining us here on Who's Next.
Thank you.
Let's start with the introduction, right?
Okay.
So it's because the first thing that I was like, wow, wait a minute, is that you were born and raised here. You don't find that from a lot of people.
It's not many. There's not many.
Tell me about your upbringing around here.
We just, born and raised in Myrtle Beach, went to Myrtle Beach High School. I left for a couple years, went to Carolina Forest, finished at Myrtle Beach, and next thing you know, just basketball didn't work out for me. So I started cooking, so that's where we at.
And that's where it's at, man. So you was a ball player?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit.
Were you on like varsity or were you like JV?
Varsity. I played varsity.
Okay. But sometimes stuff paying out, sometimes it doesn't, right?
Right.
So, it all definitely happens. So you just got into cooking, right? So, what did you always want to be though before, like
basketball player? That's it. I didn't look at anything else but playing basketball.
Got you.
Yeah,
so
but
that was pretty much it.
That was
it.
To be
Kobe or MJ?
Yeah. I became Gordon Ramsay. So neither one of those worked out. But it's a lot of work to put in with basketball, man. So I just didn't do it. But so that's why I, happened to start cooking because I'm a competitor.
Gotcha.
So I'm the type of person, if you do something better than me, I'm gonna figure out what I could do to make it better than you. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yeah, so basketball, any sport I play, I'm just a competitor. So when it came to cooking, I just wanted to cook the best to the best of my ability. Gotcha. So and I just, I try to perfect my craft and I practice. Gotcha. Practice basketball, practice cooking. So
Gotcha.
just,
Gotcha.
So this is where we're at.
Did you go to school or was it something where you So you just hit the kitchen.
I just hit the kitchen.
Just give me the pots and
right.
pans.
I'll let you know.
I don't even need the book.
So obviously, going back to basketball. So basketball didn't work out for me,
Right.
and my brother was a manager at a restaurant in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, I need a job. Basketball not working out for me.
Yeah.
I need to work. So I started working with him, and next thing you know, he was the manager. So when he took off, I just tried to jot down everything and try to help him out and try to I paid attention to everything because he was really good because he taught me a lot. So once I got in the cooking industry, I just try to perfect it. I mean, right? I try to
So was it like a fine dining restaurant in Myrtle Beach, or was
it was
an
oyster bar?
It was an oyster bar.
It was an oyster bar.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
That's
That's
kind of going straight to it.
Right, I just went straight to it. So it was just an oyster bar. So I just started shucking oysters, cooking oysters, and we had seafood and steaks on the menu, but we was known for oysters.
Gotcha.
So.
So did you start off somewhere? Because I started off working at Jack in the Box. So, I was in the kitchen making tacos.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? And Jumbo Jacks with cheese and things of that nature.
Okay.
Did you start off with like the fast food thing? Because that was one of my favorite jobs, by the way, too.
No.
No. You just went straight to oyster chuck.
Well, I used to work at this place called the Filling Station.
Okay.
Right on 10th Avenue. It used to be called the Filling Station. I think it's called Simply Southern now.
Okay.
Yeah, but it used to be called the Filling Station, so it was just a pizza place. So.
Gotcha.
But I was a bus boy, and I just ran food.
So this was always kind of like meant for you in like a type of way, right?
For the most part.
Destiny is really just something good. So would you say your brother was the one who gave you that initial push to be
he opened the doors for me. He opened the doors for me. He gave me the key to get in, and once I got in, I ran with it.
Yeah. What's some of your early favorite dishes to cook when you was in that spot?
Anything I made, they just loved it. So I mean, no specific dish because I didn't take cooking serious. Not at first, So I just made what I made and did what I did, and people just loved it. They started liking it, and they started loving it. And then one day, the general manager came up to me and my brother, and she was just like, "Which one of y'all want to? We open another restaurant. Which one of y'all want to go train a chef?"
Wow.
My brother said, "I don't want to do it. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind talking to people." So I went and did it, and we had a grand opening, and everybody in Myrtle Beach came to the restaurant. We was like overwhelmed, busy. So after the chef, they were just like, JK, we want to talk to you. So we went to the back and we started talking, and the chef stood up, the one I was training, he stood up and said, "Hey y'all, thank y'all for the opportunity. I realize I'm too old. I'm too old to do this. I quit." And he walked out. And then everybody looked at me.
Just like that?
Just like that. And I'm like, what's going on? So they was like, JK, how you feel about taking his spot as being a chef? I'm like, I just started cooking. Yeah. I'm like, I just started cooking a couple years ago. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I had one person was my food rep. He was just like, JK, I'm a chef. I manage restaurants. I own restaurants. So I will teach you. I will teach you the steps.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he taught me a lot, man.
That's one way to start.
Yeah.
That's one way to start.
They just threw me in the fire.
Yeah.
So so that's the best way to do it.
Literally.
Right. Yeah. The fire. I didn't know what to do. I didn't understand anything, man. But like I said earlier, I just tried to perfect what I did.
Yeah. Was it like nerve-wracking at first? You know what I mean? Because having, I guess, so much weight on you too. Because a lot of times, restaurants fail because of this chef. You know what I mean?
The restaurant failed. It did fail. It failed.
And
it
not
did.
saying it's because of you, but you know what I mean? Like, restaurants either going to really succeed or it's going to be like, just because you just don't know.
No.
But you said it did fail.
It did. But not from my part. It fell from the general manager. He, they know who they are, so I don't really want to say too much, but they know what they did on their end to kind of make the restaurant, go downhill.
So what happened after that?
After that, before the restaurant failed, I was talking to my food rep because I still worked at the restaurant during the day, and I worked at the other one. I had a morning job and a night job. I was working almost 100 hours a week, man, for like almost 3 years straight.
Putting in that work.
3 years, I put a lot of work in. So I just went to my guy, my mentor. I said, man, I want to work less and get paid more. Just talking to him like, you talking right now. He was like, JK, don't worry about it. I got you. I ain't paid him no attention because he always lied to me. He always lied to me, Derrion.
Yeah.
But about a week later, he gave me a phone number, and he said, hey, call this number. Like, whatever. I never called the number. So about 2 weeks went past, and he came back to me. He said, JK, did you call the number? I said, no. He said, well, I'm not going to leave your site until you call the number. I said, all right, whatever. So I called the number, and a guy picked up the phone. He said, hey, I'm opening up a restaurant in Myrtle Beach, and he said, I heard all good things about you. Come in and talk to me. Yeah. So I went just like that. So I went to him. So we had a little interview, and I went and talked to him. He said, I want you to come work for me. He said I can mold you to be, you know, the great chef that I know you can be. So he was just like, you know, he was like, how much money you make at your own job? I said, I make this amount at during the day, I make this amount at night. He said, all right, well, how many hours you work? I said, about 100. He said, holy crap.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. He was like, okay, well, I don't want you to work more than 35 hours and I'm gonna double your pay. And I'm gonna teach you how to cook this fine dining food.
Yeah,
because nobody's doing. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I know. So that's what happened.
I'm trying to make it
I know
too.
it. Yeah. So he doubled my. Yeah, he almost doubled my pay and cut my hours in less than half.
That's a blessing.
Right.
That's a
It
blessing.
was a blessing.
And hard work pays off.
Right. And he was and he was a heck of a chef, man. And he helped me out a lot.
Gotcha.
He helped me out. So we used to change the menu like every season, and I worked with a lot of cuts of meats, different, you know, seasonal veggies and everything, man.
Yeah.
So that's why, you know, that's how my culinary play came in effect.
Gotcha.
You know, so.
And now you're an award-winning chef.
Right.
And now you're out here, you know,
Right.
you're at different events and things of that nature, doing
Right.
like some pretty cool things. The first competition that I went to, I didn't even know I was going to.
Right.
Hallie Murrow, one
Right.
of my good friends and coworkers
I like
over at Grand Strand today, she invited me out and she was like, "Hey, you want to go to this place? It's got free food and free liquor." So for me, I'm like, "All right, I'm there.
Right.
Let's go."
Right.
You know,
Right.
like it doesn't take that much for me.
Right.
And we went, and it was the trio dinner.
Right.
Right. And I'm like, wait a minute. He's like, I saw you there, and I knew you from Cypress Grill. And I'm like, okay, he's there, got all these different. I'm like, it was like gourmet. It was some of the most bomb food I've ever had. Right. It was like in little portion sizes, but you could go back, as you know. And you ended up, I believe, getting second place there too.
I got the people's choice. I got first place, and the judges' choice they gave me second place.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha. Because what you had was good.
It was good.
It was
good.
It was
good. It was good. It was good. But you know, the trio dinner. So the trio meaning it's a chef, a college student, and an inspired high school student.
Yeah.
So that's the trio. So they're basically the three amigos. So basically, like whoever can make the best dish. So that's what happened, and we just, you know, we came out on first and second place, right?
It was good.
Right.
I remember that dish. It was so good. And you talk about that, you know, because clearly there was a lot of people during your career, right, especially early on, who gave back to you.
Right.
You know, how does it feel being in a position now where you have trio dinners like that, where you're going to, you know, talk to these young kids and be around these young kids and kind of show them the ropes too?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. And, you know, I have a lot of them that I trained in the past that wants to do interns with me now. Yeah. So I have a few that I have set up for the summertime that's inspired to be a chef, and it makes me feel good that they're coming back to me. Yeah. You know, so I love it, and I won't change it for the world, you know, so.
It says a lot about you too, right? You know, especially when people come back to you, especially as they're on the development stage of it, you know, when you're really trying to like hone in on your craft and get to know people, you know, you really have to go to the people that's really feeding into you. Right. So it says a lot about, you know, because some people get to that level and be like, you know, well, this is what you got to do, and I want to help you. You know what I mean? But being that person that take a step back and realize, listen, I didn't get here without someone looking at me and helping me and doing that to somebody else. So that's definitely commendable.
I treat every employee like that. I mean to cut you off, but I treat every employee like that. Yeah. Every employee, I treat every employee like anything I can do to help them, I will help them. Personal, down to the business side of it, I will help them all. Gotcha. Because you know, they help me. Yeah. You know, so.
I mean, definitely working in the restaurant, it all comes together. I even learned that in Jack in the Box. We all got to come together. You know what I mean?
Have to come together.
Drive-through, front counter, the fryers to the person on the grill. You all got to come together and be a team.
If you don't,
work it out.
If you don't, it just take one loose screw. Yeah. You know, down to a server missing a ticket or one person having a bad day in the kitchen. They burning up the food or the server's not getting the food out. It just take one person.
Or my drink not being right.
There you go. There you go. That's what you do.
It's just always something, right? So now you're known for places like Fire and Smoke. Right. Cypress Grill, which we're in right now, and now it's split. We're gonna talk about that in a minute because now it is Oak Prime Bar, kitchen and bar, and man, like it looks nice in here. By the way, it's looking really good. Oh yeah, I came here for a few times to try Cypress Grill. And man, it was so good. I remember one of my good friends, Holly, who lives down the street. She's a realtor, and we were just talking, went out to lunch, and she was like, let's go to Cypress Grill, and I live down the street from here a while back. So I remember coming here, and she ordered the 3 house-made pimento cheese biscuits.
Oh man, you can't go wrong with
listen.
Oh yeah.
You know when you first meet somebody and you don't want to like crowd over the food, because I love some good food. Oh yeah. Oh man, it was like those biscuits were something amazing. Right. Something amazing. And I was really in the back cooking here, which really had a lot of people on lock. How does it feel seeing people enjoy your food? I know with my aunt, she's one of the people where like Thanksgiving,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right,
Like she's cooked everything and she like sits back and just watch people. But I remember
There you
asking
go.
her one time like, why are you looking at everybody eating? And she was like that literally brings me joy is to see people eating my food. Is that the same way for you?
Here. No different. And then it's actually a compliment all the way down to the T, going back to the biscuits.
Yeah.
I make those biscuits from scratch every
Really?
day, every morning. And it's time consuming, but it's worth it because I mean, you taste them.
Yeah.
So they're really good. So it's just taking that time to make everything from scratch. We don't have a freezer back there at all. Everything we get from, fresh every day or daily. Maybe every 2 days for the most part, but we get everything in fresh and you can taste the quality of the food all the way around, man. But going back to what you're saying about your family, on Thanksgiving, I cook everything.
Yeah.
Everything, every year. Everybody wants me to cook. Oh, I'm not bringing no food to your house,
I think it was
JK.
around Trio is
Right.
when I saw you and you was like, yeah, I've been tired, man.
Yeah.
I've been cooking for everybody and sending
man,
plates
it's
here and
bad. Then I
plates
have
there.
people that's call me and they just, I have a real high demand on making Thanksgiving food for people. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot, man.
It's
Because
a
as
lot.
you know, when it comes to Thanksgiving, folks sit down, they want some good food.
They want really
That's
good food.
one holiday where it's around having some good food.
Right.
And when it's not good, everybody at the
They
table
going
got a
up.
problem. We got questions to ask. Who made this?
Yeah, there you go. It's
Who made this?
Right,
You know?
right.
So for other people to be contacting you like, hey, like,
Right.
make something for
Yeah.
my people, it's like that's really really a lot of love.
Right.
But now, now you're branching off, right?
Right.
Now you're starting Oak.
Right.
How does it feel now to kind of be in something that's your own, and really take a hold of that and grab it by the bullhorns?
It feels nice. It feels good. And then, before I, elaborate more about that, I want to thank Craig Martin and Chris Roberts.
Yeah.
Because the two of them and myself, we came together and we sat down and we sat at the round table and we talked about what we're going to do, the concept that we were trying to go for, and it took a lot of time to get to where I'm at. And like I told you, I worked 100 hours for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
I didn't see my family. I didn't see nobody, because I was always working. And the one day I had off, I just slept a lot because, trying to bring my body back up.
Yeah.
Gotta
so refuel somewhere.
Right. So that's my refuel day, and I'm asleep most of the day. But just my hard work and dedication that I put in, and my time and my energy, and just opening this restaurant and letting people taste my food from my culinary experience.
Gotcha.
So it's a blessing for what I'm doing because a lot of people's not doing it. Because, I talked about it for years, but now that we actually have this in play, it's beautiful.
And it's
beautiful.
hard to be about it, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to be about it. It's
Yeah.
good to be like, I want to open up
And
my
there
own
you go.
restaurant one
Right.
day. I want to have my own thing.
Right.
But it's another thing when you have to get out there. You have to get out there. You have to grind. You have
Right.
to be visible. You have to
Right.
promote your product.
Right.
You got to do all of that. What can people expect from this new spot besides new scenery? Because even like immediately, like when I walk in, I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like Cypress,
Oh, not
which
at
is
all.
hard,
It is.
right?
It
Which is
is.
really hard to do because
Right.
when you're literally kind of revamping the same space, people can walk in and be like, okay, this is
Yeah.
like Cypress 2.0.
And that-
You know?
No,
Like,
that's what.
but it doesn't,
right?
though. It
And
doesn't at all.
And that's a lot of feedback that we have. And going back to what you're saying, like in 3 weeks, we had a team come in for 3 weeks. They had paint the walls, we changed the flooring, we changed all the light fixtures, we changed everything in here too.
Seats?
Yeah, the seats, everything.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So we
those
did
stuff.
everything we could to try to give it a whole different vibe,
Yeah.
all the way around. And you're gonna get the old customers from Cypress Grill that
course.
loved or hated what we did, that might make them hesitant on coming here, because if they had a good experience, like, oh, I used to come to Cypress Grill, it used to be good, but Oak Prime is not up to par.
Yeah.
Or Cypress Grill used to be bad, so I expect Oak Prime to be bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, they got the same chef or they got the same people that work there, but it's a whole different experience, man. And everything that we're doing, like going back to my partner, Chris Roberts, everybody call him Smalls, he's a heck of a mixologist.
Yeah.
So it's not really a real mixologist down here in Myrtle Beach. But his drinks are top notch.
And that keeps people coming back.
will
Listen,
keep
I'll
people
come back
coming.
for a good drink.
And there you go.
anytime.
And there you go. And that was our problem at Cypress at one point. We never had a consistent bartender.
Yeah.
But bringing, Smalls over here and,
That will bring people back.
Oh, that will bring them back, especially with having
truly,
good food. And we got some of the best service with Lindell and Jason, and Kyle and Tommy. Like, we have some really good service that always on the A game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
A
definitely.
good happy
definitely.
hour and a good
Right.
a bartender will
yeah.
do wonders for a place.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, some
definitely.
places around here, you go to and like it's like, oh, I know it's maybe a little bit different to doing it in here, but it's like, happy hour at the bar.
Right.
And the bar is packed out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And it is literally people who've been there for a while. People
Right.
lining up at 3:30 when it opens up at 4 o'clock just because
Right.
they know what they're going to get when they walk in the
And
door.
what's crazy? We don't even have happy hour.
Yeah.
We're not even, doing happy hour when people at 5 o'clock, people coming in, a wave of people.
Right.
They're coming to see Smalls.
Yeah.
They love him, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love that they love him because, you know, they come in to see him, then they taste my food. I'm like, oh, wow, like this is a good comparison.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It almost give you like a little bit of a leg up as well, as you know, starting new businesses, starting new restaurants,
Right.
especially, you know, places where people got to come out to eat.
Right.
It's a lot.
Right.
You know what I
It
mean?
is.
Like to be like, okay, I'm going to go try it out. And then even looking at, you know, the menu, be like, okay, I don't know if this really giving my budget. I don't know if I want to spend that much money at like a brand new spot.
Right.
You know, but already having that leg up to be like, you know what? I enjoy Smalls.
Right.
So if I enjoy his drinks,
yeah.
I can get through the food.
Right,
But if I come
right.
here and the food is bomb too, you got me.
You got
me.
him.
You
I got
know?
him. You're right. You're right about that, man. And so like going back, that's the leg up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, having good food and a good bartender, that's the spot I want to be at.
A lot,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? And then there's different, like, you know, what we're trying to do, the vibe, scenery, the menu, the drinks that we have on the menu. You know, you can go online and look at everything. It's different. Nobody's around here doing what we're doing. So that's what we're doing. We're sticking with our concept, and that's what we're going for.
What vibe do you want to go for with this place?
Vibe? What do you mean by vibe?
Like vibe, like, you know, some people want to be like much more like chill, you know, like Uber, ooh la la, date night, you know what I mean?
It's a little bit of both.
Or
A little bit.
more like a, you know, like a, you know, somewhere where I can go, have a great drink, you
Right.
know, and just, you know, go be with friends or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Because like some places where it's like, okay, shh, be quiet.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Get your
right.
drink, whisper a little
Oh,
bit
yeah,
across the
oh, yeah.
table. Or is it more like, you know, chill, somewhere I can get like a nice drink, some nice steak, some nice octopus.
It's
have a good dinner.
all of the above.
All
If
the
you just
above.
want to come here for a date night, you just want to come here to chill after work, have a couple drinks, a little appetizer or entree,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing. You know,
Something for
so
everybody.
yeah, so a little bit of something for everybody.
Absolutely.
There you go.
absolutely.
You can't beat it.
What time do you all open so the people can know? Just while
Oh, yeah. So we're open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 9, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 9:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Dinner.
Okay. But dinner only.
Yeah, dinner
Yeah,
only.
I mean, I don't mind doing lunch. Lunch is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, and then the type of food that I put out, the time and the energy that I have to put in,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to come in at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning to prep, open for lunch at 11. It's hard to work throughout. So, you know, so that's why we kind of X lunch for now, and then we're just going to do strictly dinner. And, you know, people that came in from Cypress before and taste the food from then to now, complete difference. Now I have time to prepare the food the way it's supposed to be prepared without rushing it.
Are there some new dishes that you do on the menu too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This new.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is new.
Listen, I don't remember the tomahawk being at Cypress
no
or
tomahawk.
the octopus
Oh yeah.
either.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
can't
wait
beat
to
it.
eat this in a minute.
Oh,
Like I said,
yeah.
I was trying to keep my
I see
grill
it.
and
I know,
everything.
me
'cause
too.
Trust
I keep-
me, we're
yeah.
getting there because I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat.
Right.
So this is a new segment that we're bringing to the podcast.
Okay.
It's one called Mental Matters. Because, you know, mental health is important, right? You know, it's something that no matter, you know, what business you're in, no matter your field, no matter what you do, you know, a lot of people are getting a better idea of how to handle their mental health, speaking up about their mental health and things of that nature. And as we know, you know, like we were just talking about, the pressures.
Right.
The pressures of opening up a new restaurant, the pressures of, okay, you open it up, people actually coming in and enjoying your food, just the pressures of life within itself. You know, it just gets pretty hard out here,
It
you
is.
know, especially with everything. How's your mental health through all of this?
It's a lot. I mean, my mental health, you know, it's good, but you know, everything can be overwhelming, and it's just how you take it. So I just, you know, everybody need a way out. So my way out is cooking. So that's my, you know, that's my mental process, my mental health with everything. With a lot of things, I cook to. When I cook, I forget about everything. You know, I forget about everything, and I cook to try to bring the people with the mental health, you know, issues, because I have a lot of people that have gluten allergies. I have one person that's on a liquid diet.
Wow.
They just come in just for straight liquid. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that causes mental health to a certain degree.
Yeah.
You know, from looking outside in.
Yeah.
You know, so just with me curing people mental health through my food, not saying I'm curing it, but you know, me providing a outlet for people with mental health from me cooking, that's my way out for me to have, you know.
It's like a two-way street.
There you go. There you go.
You know,
Right.
I'm helping myself by
Right.
releasing, and like you're helping yourself
Right.
by also coming out and getting something to eat. You
Right.
know what I mean? Because like
Right.
that could change a person's day.
And there you go. And
Easily.
I have
You come in, you get good
Right.
service, you get good food,
Right.
you get a nice drink. It's like, you know
Right.
what? I wasn't having a good day.
Right.
But
There you
that
go.
just made me happy.
And there you go,
know?
and that's what I'm saying. So that's going back to when your family member said that, you know, by them cooking for Thanksgiving, just
Yeah.
making everybody happy. So, you know, going back to mental health, I have a family that comes in and, you know, one of their kids have, you know, going back to the liquid diet, and no restaurant around here will provide a liquid dish for them.
Yeah.
And no option at all. And I provide that for them.
Yeah.
And they just, you know, they told me about everything, about her issue and everything. And I'm happy that I get to provide that dish for them. And they, you know, so they're regular customers that comes back and they love everything that we do here.
Yeah.
So,
and that means a lot. That means a lot.
Does,
you know,
for me
just
also.
Just that peace of mind, right?
And it's a peace of mind. Right.
Absolutely.
So that makes me happy all the way around.
Yeah. And we also talked about, you know, you wanted to step more into the spotlight as well, which is even you being here for the actual podcast.
Right.
And just be more visible, you know, be more out there. Because as I was trying to even do my own internal research, trust me, y'all, you're not going to find this man on Facebook or Google or anything of that nature. So how do you feel getting to that point where you have to be a little bit more visible? You got to be seen a little bit more. Sharing a little bit more. Even what you're doing right now.
What I'm doing right now. I'm not really a camera friendly person. Yeah. I told you I was shy before the interview. I'm like, dang. So I don't mind doing it. I just need to do it, you know. So it's a little different, you know. I'm not the type of person that posts a picture, you know, get my phone, post a picture and put it on Snapchat, Facebook or whatever. I don't, you know. I just move a little different, so. Yeah.
What was holding you back from that? Kind of being like, because honestly, some people they're just not them. You know what I mean? Like they just want to be in the back. Like, listen, I want to be in the, you know, the kitchen, getting it in. You know, where my face is the food.
So honestly, my face is the food, but the food people want to, you know, going to a restaurant and eating some really good food and actually meeting the chef. People love that. Yeah. So so a lot of times I'm back there really busy, and a table want to talk to me just to tell me compliments to the chef, and they want to hear my output on. They want to hear how I made this food, how I make it, you know, be like, okay, well, nobody around here got a Daffodil potato on the menu. What made you put a Daffodil potato? What made you put octopus? So I have to tell them. So really, me trying to stay in my little shell, I have to, you know, go outside the box a little bit, and I'm used to it now. Yeah, so I talk to so many people now, it's just second nature now.
And it really matters too, you know, even going back to who we are, you know, black men being in our business, you know, me being a black male anchor, you know, that brings a whole nother level of, you know, making sure that I stay on my tip top, you know what I mean? But also, once again, I mean, naturally I'm visible because I'm on TV, but even being visible in the community so that I'm not just some TV figure. You know, it's important for you also, you know, being a black chef to step out and be like, you know what, the people need to see me, the kids need to see me,
there you
know, because they need to see that there's another option. Even your story about, you know, you wanted to go play basketball and you shifting over, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And becoming a chef, I think that's just so inspirational. It's something that I think, you know, I know rather that kids would love to hear, you know, because a lot of kids here, you know, make sure you got your backup plan. I'm pretty sure you was told that before, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's cool. You want to be Kobe, but make sure you got something else on the side, you know, and they don't really appreciate that. But I think your story really lends a realistic experience to what that is and what you can do. So I love hearing that, man. I love hearing it. So all the best to you. Next segment though, we have I Say, You Say, right? I'm gonna say something, you say something, right? So I'm gonna say a word or a phrase. Okay. And then you have to respond with one word. Okay. Now, if we expand on that word, we're gonna expand, but I need just only one word from you, all right? All right. I say, you say. All right, so I say, growing up in Myrtle Beach, you say?
Tough. Tough.
We can stop right there before we get to the next one. What do you mean by tough?
Tough on my end because going back to basketball, because I mean, that's all I did growing up. It was tough for me because I was, known to play basketball. Yeah. Nobody known me. I mean, you could ask people around, like nobody knew that I could do anything else besides play basketball. Yeah. So it was tough, not growing up, but as far as like my early adult years, not pursuing my basketball career to cook. It was tough at one point because I was ashamed of it at one point because I was, used to be on the news. I used to, be in the newspaper all the time. And from, actually not pursuing my basketball career as a cook, I was ashamed of it. So now I'm, like you just said earlier, I'm coming out my shell now, so. Yeah, right. That's tough. That was tough.
Okay, so I say the future of black chefs. You say? Is that the response aside?
That's a reply. That's a response. That's a response.
That's your one.
That's a response.
That's your 100%.
It's upcoming.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of upcoming black chefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, because I have 2 or 3 right now that I'm molding right now to be a chef. I don't want them to work under me forever, so I'm doing everything in my power to make them an executive chef. You know, so I'm teaching them the odds and ends of everything. I mean, honestly, black, white, Mexican, whatever. I don't care. So I'm just teaching them how to become a chef.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, I say house-made biscuits on the menu. You say?
From scratch.
You say yes or no?
Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
there
yes.
you go. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, they're good.
And grab that. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Them biscuits good. They're good. And it's time consuming.
Man.
Come back here and watch me make them one day.
How long it take you?
45 minutes for every 30 biscuits. We're doing it from scratch.
And you're giving out 3 every time?
Every time. Right.
Man.
I have people get mad at me. No, I had a couple of customers complain that we don't give out free bread. But I'm like, we don't give out free bread because we have these beautiful biscuits on the menu. And I charge, I mean, they only like $8 on the menu. Yeah, so it's like, so just order the biscuits.
Yeah,
you know?
Listen, it's like Ted Lasso, biscuits with the boss.
Right.
All right, and just the last thing too, the last segment, we call 3 things. So what are 3 things?
3?
3 things.
Oh, man.
3, not 6, but 3.
All right, there you go.
That 3 things about you not related to the culinary or food that people would be surprised about. 3 things. Random facts. 3 random things.
I'm shy, but I'm not shy.
Okay.
I don't know if that's one thing.
It's cool.
That's
it's cool.
one. 2. Personal, without the restaurant. All right.
Go ahead.
I had my child when I was 15 years old.
Wow.
15.
That's another obstacle.
That's another obstacle.
I mean, you just keep
it's more. It's more. We can have another segment. We can just talk about more things. I have a lot going on.
Get a part 2
I have a lot.
here.
We could do a part 2 and 3. That's a lot. I have a lot going on.
Okay.
I have a lot going on.
3.
3. That's hard. I mean, the first 2. I mean, that's really.
You got something. Like I eating pretzels in bed. I don't know.
I cook all this fine dining food all day, every day, and I go home and eat a hot dog.
A
hot dog or a piece of pizza or a burger. I eat this food, but I'm around it all day, every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get the best of the best, and I go home and eat a taco. You know, so I don't really eat this food, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's a lot of tomahawk steak right
That's
here.
a
I
lot
don't know
of-
if I'm
that's
going to
3
share it, though.
pounds.
Maybe you're going to have to go to your hot dog.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
I'll chop it up and put it in my chili. I can chop it up and put it in the chili.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Thank you so much
right, thank
for
you,
being with us,
you,
man.
thank
Can you look in this camera and let the folks know? Just say, I'm JK, Chef JK, and I'm next.
All right, I'm Chef Jerrett King. Everybody know me as Chef JK, and I'm up next.
I'm up next. I
I'm up
appreciate you,
next.
brother.
All right, appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
All
Thank you
right,
so
thank
much,
you.
man. And thank you.
All right.
Thank y'all so much for joining us here on Who's Next with Derrion Henderson. We have so many more amazing people that we're going to be featuring on here, so make sure you subscribe to this on Spotify, on Apple Music, and also on YouTube as well. And also follow me on social media at Derrion LH. That's DerrionLH. We're going to have so much more coming up here on our different podcast series, including for Mental Health Awareness Month. You don't want to miss that. Thank you so much for joining us.